All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Eline Podcast. I'm your host, Mark Rose, and we have Ellie, Kiera, and today we have our special guest, Klutch the GameShifta. Clutch, welcome.
Appreciate it. How y'all doing?
Good.
Good.
That's what's up.
Yeah, so how's everyone today? How's your day been, Clutch? How's today been for you?
I had a good day, man. Very productive. Got some stuff done. Got some writing done actually for some new stuff that we're working on, and some marketing plans for some stuff we got coming. So had a productive day today.
Nice. So, The Darkest Before Dawn, let's talk about that. So that's your latest
Yeah.
project that just dropped. By the way, I want to say it's dope. I listened to it over the weekend. It's dope.
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, I really
Appreciate it.
like your rapping, your storytelling, all of that. Can you just fill us in on the process?
Man, the process of getting that album done actually spanned it over a few years because a couple of years because when we were pretty much finished with it, COVID hit, and we didn't know how people were consuming music. So we didn't know whether we could, we couldn't do a listening party, we couldn't do any performances or anything like that. So we had kind of put the project on hold for a little bit. But throughout that process, some more things, happened and some more experiences happened, and I added some more stuff to the project. And the process for me basically is looking at the world, looking at my life, looking at my feelings, my experiences, my lessons, and adding them to the music in a way that people can relate to. I'm not the artist that's going to be talking about guns and drugs and all that kind of stuff, because that's not really my lifestyle. So I really speak to my true life. Got a few records that are braggadocious where you just want to kind of show off your skill set that I really do this. But for the most part, man, it's writing relative music that's about my own therapy. And I think that's what makes it relatable, because I'm not pretending to be anything or pushing a narrative that's not my real life. What you hear on records is really, truly, genuinely me and real, genuine experiences that I've been through and stuff that I've witnessed. So the process is just taking my life and creating a vocal portrait of what I've been going through.
Oh crap, did I get unmuted? What happened?
Mm-hmm.
Me? Okay. Anyways, so I think that your audience and your fans definitely would like to hear that, because it's a lot of artists, I feel like, you have some artists who speak their truth. Some people like to just play with rapping, rhyming, this, that, and the third. But I like hearing that because I like listening to music and I like listening to stories. I like feeling the artist, and feeling them, and I think that's really dope. So how long have you been into music?
And I'm a veteran. I've been into music for 15 plus years now. To where I've been doing music for professionally. I was signed to a record deal with Katt Williams and Universal Records at one time. We did a 107 city tour, which that was a phenomenal experience for me to have during that time. And yeah, I've been doing it for a while, man. I still have a passion for it. You know what I mean? After you grow in a certain area, sometimes you let it go because you just lose the passion for it. I just still love creating. You know what I mean? So when I was a little younger, I wanted to be like this superstar hip hop artist, but now it's not about any type of fame or finance too much at all. It's just about being able to express and touching people through the music. So that's the goal now, and whatever happens from that, I'm fully accepting of it. But I just want to be able to create and relate and touch people and impact people through my skill set and gift of being able to write songs.
Oh, sure. I love that. So what are you working on right now currently?
Right now, currently, we got 2 videos that we are preparing to shoot for you guys. We deliberately are choosing records. Everything has, you know, a lot of positive uh, messages and almost everything on the album, but we got 2 of the most positive records on the album we're going to be shooting videos for. So we're working on that. And also, I have a t-shirt line that I've created called Don't Quit As Long As You're Alive. You might have seen, you know, people around posting pictures with the Don't Quit shirts on. So we've revamped a few new designs for that. And we're going to be relaunching with some new designs and some new articles and apparel for people to be able to take that message and wear it and inspire other people through wearing those garments. So working on that, working on the videos, and I'm still writing music, of course. I'm not gonna stop that. So I actually just recorded like a theme song for Don't Quit, called Don't Quit, that we just finished. We got to get it mixed and mastered and stuff, but we just finished that record with, that Pompeii is featured on, and he produced it as well.
Pompeii, shout out.
Yeah, my homie, my bro.
How long have you and Pompeii known each other?
Me and Pompeii known each other for 10 years now.
Nice, dope. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
So I get can we get a brief history like on like your upbringing, like your past, like in terms of like connecting your past to your music, like at what age did you like decide like, hey, I'm ready, I'm getting into music, I'm ready to like tell my story, you know?
Actually, it started. I was originally born in New Jersey, Newark, New Jersey, but I was raised here. I've been in Augusta since I was like 7 or 8 years old. So I was originally born in Jersey, moved here. Jersey was a very violent environment, and when I moved here, it was a very drug-infested environment. It was less violent, but I was around more drugs and stuff here than I was there. And I just always been a very critical thinker. So even though I was around it, I never indulged in it because something about the way I thought was different. Because I would look at a situation and be like, well, that don't really make sense. You know what I mean? Even at a very young age. So as I got older, I didn't start writing until I graduated high school. So no one I went to high school with knows me as being a hip hop artist or a rapper. I started doing poetry, like just writing poems. And I was getting complimented so much on the poems that I just tried to put it to music. And I advanced extremely fast. And within 2 years of me writing my first rhyme, I had got offered my first independent record deal.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so from that point, it just became something. I was in college at the time for biology, but I just didn't have a passion for it. I was going because that was the tradition. You go to school, you go to college, but I had a gift that excited me. You know what I mean? That made me feel great when I completed something. And it was far more, I was far more attached to that than I was to school. So even though I graduated high school, did a little bit of college, I ended up not going back and getting into the music industry, and haven't looked back. But it was after right after I graduated high school, like that summer, when I first started writing for the first time.
Yeah, I think that's like cool. Like I think it's funny how you said like people in high school don't know you as like a hip hop artist. So I think it's them like seeing you now and they're like, oh wow. So I wonder how has the music been like received as long as you've been
this time it's been kind of overwhelming this time, because even though I know I'm elite at what I do, like, you know, there's certain categories and people, you know, that you have skills to where you're more confident in that particular category than anywhere else. So when it comes to music, you can't tell me I'm not good at it. You know what I mean? When it comes to writing, you can't tell me I'm not good at it. It's like a chef who's been cooking for 30 years. Like, you can't tell them they can't cook. Like, you might could tell them something else, but you can't tell them they can't cook. So I'm very confident in that particular department when it comes to music. So I've always had the confidence, but the reception is still, you never get used to it, because you don't realize when you're writing it how many people can relate and are feeling the same thing that you feeling or went through the same thing you went through. I've had people inbox me, call me, tell me that they were crying. And I've had songs that people said they played at their weddings and things of that nature. So like the response is just overwhelming, especially with this project. They're comparing it. I've heard people compare it to J. Cole's album. I've heard people compare it to Kendrick Lamar. I've had someone say that they listened to Drake and didn't like it that much and went back to listening to my album. So when you're being spoken in the same, not that I feel like I'm better than any of these people, but when you hear people putting you in the same sentences and the same categories of those phenomenal artists that everybody listens to, like it's always a blessing to hear that. It's always a phenomenal thing to hear and feel that you're being compared to what the world is listening to. People who have millions and millions and millions of fans, you're right on that same level as them.
Right. So do you feel like even though you're getting that outpour of like well reception and like you know, people are like telling you like, hey, you know, I'm playing this at my wedding, like this song made me cry, this, that, and the third. Does it like drive you and inspire you more to like touch more people in the world? Like not saying that you want fame, but just saying just to touch more people, you know?
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's the driving, one of the main driving forces of why I continue to write as much as I do. That's one of the driving forces, because you get so many people saying, hey man, I really felt that, or I went through that, or that particular line touched me in a different way. And sometimes I write something with a specific meaning behind it, and then somebody will repeat that line and they get a completely different perspective from it. And that excites me too, because like, man, I wrote it and I didn't even think about that side of it. You know what I mean? So yeah, it definitely inspires me to continue to write and continue to inspire other people through the music, man. Definitely.
I love that. I love that. I love that. So can you like tell us more about like your clothing brand, Don't Quit? I know you kind of like summed it up earlier, but I want to like hear a little bit more in depth about it.
So I went through a very tough breakup that involved a child. And I was disconnected from that child almost instantly. So when you've been raising a kid and then you're disconnected from him instantly, it's more like a death. You know what I mean? It's you have to go through a grieving stage. So during my grieving stage, I was very depressed. I was very hurt. And I was trying to cope. And I went and got a tattoo on my wrist that said, don't quit. And it has the EKG heart up under it. And that stood for as long as you're alive. As long as you have a heartbeat, you have reason to keep going. And I tattooed it on my wrist to be a reminder that whenever I feel down, whenever I feel like I can't go anymore, to just look down at your wrist, right? So I ended up going through a fitness kind of fitness phase where I was in the gym all day long, 2 times a day. And I ended up just getting Don't Quit put on a t-shirt just to kind of do it, to have my own t-shirt with Don't Quit. With the same thing I have on my wrist, I put it on a t-shirt. And I wore it to the gym, and everybody at the gym started asking me, where you get the shirt from? Where you get the shirt from? Well, I want one of those. Oh, I like that. Well, what did it mean? I tell them what it means. Oh man, I want one of those. How can I get one of those? So I started printing up a few shirts for people at the gym. And then everybody who got a shirt would take a picture and post it online. So then other people started asking, and it just kind of blew like wildflowers, like weeds. It just went crazy in the course of probably about 6 months. So it went from being a tattoo on my wrist, so I'm shipping out t-shirts to London, to UK. And one of the things that inspired me to keep going with it is I kept having these experiences where I'm out with the shirt on and someone would walk past me and make comment of it. Like I'll never forget walking into Walmart, and a young lady older lady actually was walking out of Walmart. And as she walked past me, she said, I needed to see that today. And stuff like that, just like the music, when I see that it's impactful to the people, it inspires me to want to do it more. So now I have people saying, hey, do you got tank tops? Hey, do you have hats? Hey, do you have shorts? So now we're going to expand the brand and give the people what they want, because you never know. Some people can take it as a sign. You just have a shirt on and someone walks past you and takes that as a sign to keep going. So if it has the power to do that, we're gonna definitely continue to promote it and expand it. But it all started from me going through a tough time and putting a tattoo on my wrist to remind me not to quit.
Yeah, that's beautiful, man. I love that.
Yeah.
Like your audience, I can tell they see you and they feel you, and that's what I love when I like for like some of my favorite artists. Like I love like feeling their music, like feeling their music when they have merch, just knowing that it's coming from them. You know, it's not something that's just like, oh, let me just create a shirt. You know,
Right.
you know, it's
Right.
like merch, money, this, that, and the third, but you have like a meaning behind it. You know, and I think that's really cool. But something's happened on my head. So like Klutch Tha GameShifta, like where did that name come from?
Okay, so when I was first trying to come up with my name, I was working and I was at work just writing names down on on a piece of paper, and I had all these different names. And I was trying to find something that fit me as a person and fit me as an artist. So I started off, it was just Klutch. It was Kid Klutch. And Klutch was because Klutch has three definitions that I think fit me as a person and fit me as an artist. One of the definitions of Klutch is to hold on to something tightly and not let it go. I'm not a quitter. When I decide I'm going to do something, I hold on to it. Now I don't back down. Another definition of Klutch is the apparatus in the car that assists you in changing gears. And I'm a very versatile person, so I felt like that fit me as well. And then there's Klutch, which is the sports uh, analogy, which if you got 1 second left on the clock and you down by 1 point, you know, if you hit a shot, that's a clutch shot. And I work very well under pressure as an artist and as a man. And I felt those three definitions defined me very well in music and as a man. So I used Klutch as my name. And then one of my friends, maybe 2 years into my career, said, man, you're going to change the game. And he made a play on Klutch in the car and said, man, you're going to be the game shifter. Instead of shifting gears, he was like, you're going to be the game shifter. And it stuck. Yeah. And people started calling me game shifter instead of Klutch. And I just added it to the name because I think there's a rock group named Klutch. So that way, when people look me up, it'd be easier to find me as well. But Klutch came from me, and Game Shifter came from a friend of mine, kind of adding a nickname to what I had already created, and it stuck, and people liked it, and I've been sticking with it ever since.
Nice, nice. Like, do you like ever play in like other like genres of music?
In other genres?
Yeah.
Well, writing, yes, I can write anything.
Uh-huh.
I can write anything. So I can write country, I can write rock, I can write neo soul, I can write R&B, anything that takes some words. You just give me a melody or you tell me what direction you want to go in and I can write it. So I definitely, the reason why I'm a hip hop artist because I can't sing, man. If I could sing, I'd be R&B because I love R&B. That's why you'll see a lot of singing on my albums because I really wish I could. but yeah, I dabble in different genres, but when the opportunity presents itself.
Mm-hmm. True. Nice. Nice.
So speaking of different genres, earlier you mentioned that you were signed to Katt Williams.
Mm-hmm.
So he's one of my favorite comedians. So how did you connect with him and what made you want to work with him as a comedian and not really a musical artist, I guess?
So I used to do a job which is called merchandising. Merchandising is where you handle the artist's merch while they're performing. So, you know, when you go to a concert, they have the t-shirts out there, they take pictures, they have the coffee mugs and the dog tags and the posters, all that kind of stuff, all of their merch. We handled merch for celebrities. So I've handled merch for Neo, for R. Kelly, for Fantasia, for Ricky Smiley, for Kevin Hart, for all these different artists. So we did the tour with him. His tour is Pimpin' the Pimp Chronicles. We were on that tour with him, but we were working with him. and you know, kind of behind the scenes. So I had a mixtape out at the time, and I would just pass. We're in different cities all across the United States. I wasn't even selling them; I was just giving them out. And one of his security guards, named Lex, played it on the tour bus. And Katt was like, "Who is that?" He was like, "Yo, that's the dude that do the merch." He was like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, that's the dude that do the merch. That's on tour with us." So, you know, I didn't know anything about that. And the crazy thing about the story is I was in California doing merch we were doing a show for Diana Ross, I think. And we got a call from Katt's manager asking us to book a flight to California. And we were already in California. And ended up changing the flight. We were in Oakland, I think. We had to go to LA. Going to LA, and when we get there, him and his manager pulled me to the side, said they had been watching me for months to see what my character was like. And they think I'm a phenomenal hip hop artist. Katt was rapping at the time, and he had just started a record label that was in connection with Universal Records. So, and he was connected with Snoop Dogg and Lil Wayne and DJ Drama and all these huge artists at the time. And they wanted to sign me to his new record label. He had like 4 artists at the time. And we ended up being opening acts on his comedy tour. So it's opened up with music, and then they would do comedy for the rest of the show. And we did 107 cities. I was on tour from January to July, 7 months of doing 3, 4, 5 shows a week. Right. So being around him, seeing what his character was like, allowed me to be comfortable in signing with him, because he was one of the most humble, funny, coolest celebrities I had ever met. And you got to keep in mind that I was around celebrities all the time because of the work I was doing. You know, and some things changed down the line with him, but at that point in time, he was somebody I looked up to as far as being a celebrity, and I was very comfortable signing with them at the time.
That's awesome. I know that was a great experience and definitely a legendary tour.
Yes. He had connected to everything. So you got to keep in mind that he not only had, you know, music, he had TV as well. So he would have been able to plug us into places a little deeper than the average musician record label would have, because he had TV shows and movies and other stuff that he was doing he would have been able to allow us to be a part of. So some crazy stuff happened, but I still have no regrets, and I'm really excited that I was able to be a part of that.
Well, speaking of that,
so when you get the It's Pimpin' Pimpin' DVD, there's a song that's playing in the beginning. I don't know if a lot of people know this, but that's me at the beginning of that DVD. When you plug in that DVD, that's me. That's my song playing.
Did not know, but I will definitely listen now.
Wait, Klutch, so like, have you ever acted, or would you like, are you interested in ever like acting?
I haven't, but I actually am interested in it now.
Really?
Like, I actually would like to kind of jump into that a little bit and see how I could do. But I haven't had the opportunity yet, but that is an interest of mine now.
Would you do like drama, comedy? What type of like acting could you see yourself starting off with?
Probably drama. Comedy too, but like I have like a dry sense of humor. Like I'm not really a animated person. I'm very witty. So, you know, it would have to be something like that for comedy, but maybe a little bit of comedy and some drama would be dope.
Nice. Okay, so like if you could work with like any music artist in the world, who would you work with?
Oh man. Any music artist in the world?
But you can only pick one. One?
Oh, that's hard. Man, that's really, really hard. Because I don't even have favorites. I don't have a favorite anything, because I like so much. But if I could work with any artist in the world, some of them gone, man.
How about with your current like with music, how you feel currently with the music and your emotions and like artists that are out now, like this generation of artists. How about that? I don't know.
This generation of artists,
Yeah, if it makes it like a
um,
little bit easier.
if I could only pick one, I'll probably say J. Cole.
Okay.
If I could only pick one.
Yeah, yeah.
Another one of my favorites is Ace Hood. I think a lot of people kind of sleep on the content of what he talks about in what he displays in his music. That's somebody else I would like to work with. But if I could only pick one, J. Cole probably would be who I would pick.
J. Cole.
No. Yeah, man, Cole World.
Yeah, I can see that. I could definitely see you guys like collabing for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So okay, Klutch. So what inspires you to keep going?
Just life, man. Life. You see people every single day that have something going on that you can pull inspiration from. People chasing their dreams. You see people hurting that you maybe be able to lend some type of insight to. You see people accomplishing things and you want them to keep going. So just life in general, I'm able to pull inspiration from everything, man. And I have 2 children. I got a son, and I just had a beautiful daughter who's not even 2 years old yet. And that's another inspiration for me is being able to play that parent to a young one all over again. My son is much older, but being able to play that parent to a little one all over again and being able to be daddy, you know what I mean? And I pull inspiration from that as well, being able to show her what talent can do, what hard work can do, and being able to pull some of that out of her as well, being able to expose her to whatever her greatness is going to be. So I pull inspiration from everything, man.
Have they do they listen to your music?
Yeah, well, my daughter, no, she's really, really young. So I'm still playing Coco Melon for her. My son is a big fan. He listens to my music a lot. He dabbles in playing music and writing himself. But yeah, I definitely want them to experience that side of me because for me, that's the most perfect part of who I am. You know what I mean? We're all flawed human beings, but that's the most perfect part you're going to find about me is my ability to be able to express stories, emotions, and feelings, and being able to put that to music and ideas that people relate to. So definitely.
Nice. I feel you, and definitely like I feel like listening to your music, speaking with you now, it's just like I really respect you and like your art and what you're about, by the way. And I feel like anyone who's listening to this right now, I feel like I can tell that they feel inspired and they're gonna check out that music.
Thank you. Hope so.
Yeah. But Kira, Ellie, any like questions? Because I feel like I've like definitely asked Klutch like a lot of like everything I want to ask him for sure. Before we like wrap it up, are you guys good?
I am good. I think you answered a lot of things I was thinking.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I think it was great. I loved it, Klutch. I'm very much so a big fan. I know I need to get a Don't Quit shirt now. That story, I hope it has a TikTok reel. It definitely needs one. I like that a lot. It was really inspiring, especially to hear that.
For sure.
Thank you.
Get a shirt.
I got you. I'll get all 3 of y'all.
Yeah, we appreciate that.
Definitely, we'll rock that. And we'll love to have you back when you're working on your next project.
All right, we appreciate it, man. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
We want to thank you for joining us. And once again, everyone, keep creating. And this is the Eline Podcast. And thank you, Klutch, for joining us.
All right, man. Y'all have a good one. I appreciate it again.
All right.